that is Ekiti State University, steal cops. That is, they attack doctors, thief dead body. Just in case you're wondering what that is. Wow, you've not had it all. Moving forward, soaring food prices push Nigeria's inflation to 28.9%. However, food inflation itself stands at 33.93% in December alone. And then Atiku Obi Kwankwaso have agreed to form a mega party. Utomi said so. So who will be the presidential candidate of this mega party? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, Lakers. These are the hot topics that we have. Let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back to begin dissecting of this conversation one at a time. Stay with us.
He won't use passenger money, kill him.
Sit tire for here, put am for him neck, burn am. Yes, they no go find better work do. Na yahoo dem go dey do. Burn am. Stop!
That person where you want born, if it dey innocent, no go carry person blood put for your head. Jungle justice no good at all. Stop am.
You wey light the fire, you no get heart. Say no to jungle justice.
You uncle wey follow for the crowd dey look wey dem dey born person. You no stop them. E dey do you like film abi? Your hand sef no clean o. You fit enter gbege. Stop the lynching. Stop jungle justice.
Under the criminal law for Lagos State, person wey start jungle justice, those wey support am and those wey just sit down look, all of them fit rot for jail. My name na Benjamin Hundeyin, Lagos State Police talk person. Stop jungle justice.
This message now from Lagos State Police Command
and VOP 90.3 FM.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, and of course, it's still The Evening Rush right here. So let's go on to the conversations that we're having. By the way, my name is Precious, in case I didn't tell you earlier. But let's start with the issue about security, because we've had this. It's like we have had this. So, moving to the case of kidnap that happened over the weekend, palpable fear has gripped residents of Sagwari Layout Estate, Dutse, Abuja, after the kidnappers who abducted 10 persons from the area killed 3 of their victims. Now recall that the daredevil gunmen had on January 7 invaded the estate with highly sophisticated weapons and abducted at least 10 persons. Report emerged today, Monday, that the terrorists had killed 3 of the 10 victims to send a strong warning to their relatives negotiating ransom payment. Now, reports also gathered that the assailants had increased their demand from the initial 60 million naira per person to 100 million naira, now totaling 700 million naira, as the only condition of their release, or for their release. It was further gathered that the victims were allegedly killed over the delay in raising the ransom earlier demanded by the victims. The police public relations officer in the FCT command could not be reached at the time of filing the report. But however, this is the situation. But in case you're wondering, this is a situation of the Nabiha sisters whom had faced that very, very bad fate in the hands of the kidnappers. So when contacted, the FCT police spokesman eventually contacted Josephine Ade, told newsmen over the telephone that she could not give details about the incident. She said, for security reasons, I can't speak on this, but we are on top of the situation. So she said. The gun wielding men had stormed the estate about 7:30 p.m. that day on the 7th of January, where they kidnapped these people. Plans to crowdfund the ransom demand were a topic in Nigeria's social media space over the weekend. Mr. Darlington, welcome. Thank you for being here. So over the weekend, more like Arewa Twitter or Arewa social media, it was not just Arewa, everywhere. Everyone was, tweeting about this, especially about the sisters, who were part of this kidnapped people, victims, and requesting or pleading for funds to get them released, right? To pay the ransom of 60 million naira. At that time, one of the victims were already killed. And, there was request and plea for this money to be paid so that for people to gather the money so that the rest of them wouldn't be killed. But sadly, 2 more people have been killed. However, we can't tell if it's part of the sisters that were also killed. But you do recall that Isa Pantami, the former Minister of Information Technology, had come out to say that one of the reasons why this kidnapping still persists is because the security agencies have refused to use the NIN linkage in the pursuit for such issues. It was more like an indictment on the security agencies. And I'm wondering why the security... Okay, so why did we... Because everyone was saying then, was like, okay, why did we go through the NIN thingy and then we're still here? Where kidnappers will call and request a ransom. What phone are they using to call? Is that phone not linked? Should be every other person's phone that is not linked was blocked. So what phone are they using to call? However, you would also recall that over that weekend, Isa Pantami said his friend has agreed to pay 40 million out of the entire 40 or 50 million out of the entire 60 million ransom that was demanded. But it's not like this is just the case now. Let's also go to Enugu State, where about 40 something people have been kidnapped. People that were jejely traveling on their own. This could be anybody. It's scary, makes you feel like nobody is actually safe. Because people who are traveling from one part of the country to the other on public transportation may not actually be safe. This is actually the fate of the people that were kidnapped along Otukpo Benue Enugu Road on their way to Enugu, I presume. And of course, these guys are also requesting for ransom. This is another situation again. Like we've not had it all. But then there's still other issues and cases of banditry and kidnapping. Now, armed bandits terrorizing parts of Katsina State have also attacked a joint military camp at the Nahuta village in Batsari local government area of the state. It was learned that the incident occurred at about 11:30 p.m. yesterday. That is 11:30 in the midnight, just before midnight yesterday. The assailants, who were armed with sophisticated weapons, including AK-47 rifles, destroyed vehicles and some valuables during the assaults. A security source attached to the camp, who confirmed the development to newsmen today, said no life was lost. The source explained that the security personnel attached to the camp succeeded in repelling the attack, even though the bandits outweighed them. Mr. Darlington, this is barely few months, about a year, that we faced issues in Kuje prison. Not only did we face issue in Kuje prison that the road leading to it is highly militarized. We still had bandits, terrorists now, find their way to Kuje prison, ensured that they had this mayhem done, did away with people that they wanted to do away with. Till today, we've not gotten detailed investigation as to how that attack in Kuje prison happened. Who were the people that were rescued? Where are they right now? And then what was the rationale behind putting terrorists in a medium security outfit like Kuje instead of a maximum security? I thought terrorists were people who should be guarded very heavily. So what was the rationale behind putting them in a medium security prison like Kuje instead of a maximum security? It's Mr. Darlings, there are lots of questions I have in my head to ask, because at the end of the day, the lives of real human beings are involved. Because I hear that among these people that were killed now, a little girl that about 6 years old or so, that the parents also try to raise money for her ransom, is also part of those. The life of the little girl has just been cut short. And this is a situation where people will say her country failed her. A promising child. The other sisters are all in the university doing very well. How do we get an end to this mayhem, to this crazy situation? It's beginning to, Abuja has been trending. It's beginning to look like the FCT is not safe. But before I push further, let me just go to you, because I have a lot of questions to ask. I don't know, because it's just very painful. Mr. Darlington, I don't know if you remember a certain terrorist. Is it Tukoro? So I've forgotten that his real name now. That was I think it's Bello Turji. You remember Bello Turji? Turji, yeah, Turju Bello. You understand? Do you know that he's now a policeman? according to reports. So he was part of those that were radicalized and that thing that they do. You understand? So when we have a situation where very known terrorists who were once wanted, now part of security, our security outfits, what do we call that? These questions, there's too many questions to ask that we don't even have answers to. What do we do? People are dying. People are being displaced from their homes. People now live in fear. I have too many questions to ask, but Mr. Darlington, over to you.
Please, Precious,
Sir.
You are even going too far by Kuje prison. First of all, good evening, listeners and viewers. Happy New Week. And a happy new terrorism week.
God forbid, Mr. Darlington, please don't say that.
Is that not what is going on? Look at all the reports here. Is that not, do you want to wish it away? When they hit Kuje prison, they wrote a letter. Pressure, they wrote a letter telling you that one of the conditions, those who attacked the Abuja Kaduna train, that one of the conditions is that they should release their commanders in Kuje prison. But if the government fail to do so, they will come and release them. At least Mamu, the media advisor to Sheikh, what's his name? He said it.
Sheikh Gumi.
He said, so what are you telling me? Look, Precious, let us not deceive ourselves. There is a lot of conspiracy going on. You know that if I say it now, you ask me, where is the evidence?
No, Mr.
The evidence is standing at you and me in the face.
So, Mr. Darlington, do you know this?
The evidence is there.
This just reminds me, this just took my mind back to Kawo Baraje's. Do you remember Kawo Baraje's revelation?
Of course. What happened to all the revelations, all the lead
by Kawo Baraje? So I'm just wondering, because if anything he said is, if what he said is anything to go by, then why do we not have? Okay, let's assume that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is gone. Why can't this particular administration now pursue those evidences?
Tinubu told you during the campaign that he don't want to step on toes on this matter. He said it during his campaign.
And then you remember when El Rufai said that the reason why federal government is not against bandits is because they're doing businesses and they're not seeking for secession like Nnamdi Kanu.
You can imagine.
This statement was actually made on record by El Rufai, former governor of
So all these sympathies,
Kaduna State.
The people that are doing this are people you people call VIP in Nigeria. They are the people that the press worship. Precious people that are doing this thing are known to you and I. From their statement, because my Bible says, by their fruits we shall know them. Northern leaders are behind this thing. Let us not deceive ourselves. Their statement have given them away.
No, Mr. Darlington, you can't accuse all northern leaders.
The one that we know, what have they done for them? What have they done to them? And the one that we know, what have they done? What have they said about them?
Which of the ones you know, like Kawo Baraje's?
Rufai, Sheikh Gumi.
No, but
hold on, Baraje, you mentioned. What is this other person's name? That governor, the one that the former deputy governor of CBN mentioned, Melafia Obadiah. He mentioned names now. Apart from that, you know so many others that have made statements telling you that these boys are their boys. So what are you now saying? I mean, what do you want us to say now?
But for the purpose of clarity, El Rufai only did say that like he mentioned, or like I mentioned earlier, that the reason why federal government is not coming out for bandits heavily, it's because they are into business. They are just doing business and collecting ransom. They are not. They're not seeking for secession, right? However, he also did say, he had said on record, which I can play now, that the federal government themselves know where these bandits are. That they cannot say that they don't know where they are.
Precious.
They know where they are and they can get them if they want to get them. So he hasn't said anything that implicates him personally with the bandit. Has he said anything? I don't know.
When somebody took our money, taxpayers' money, to go and pay people somewhere, that they should stop killing Nigerians, that means he knows them. When Sheikh Gumi was going into the forest, with the full backing of the military and the security agents. Did they not say it openly? Please, I don't understand though. This devil advocate cannot help issues here. The northern leaders know who is behind what is going on. They know the genesis. Don't deceive yourself. They know the genesis. Didn't you tell me now how one of the terrorists had become a policeman? Even before that, he was banned. All the government officials were there on that day when he was banned. Can they give such a privilege to anybody here in the south? With all he has done, no. Okay, you are talking that you are saying that they only said that they are doing business. Are you serious? Business of kidnapping and collecting ransom, abi? Business of taking territory and collecting.
So, Mr. Darlington, do you even remember that time that about 222 criminals and thugs in Kano State and all that were trained and employed into the Nigerian police force? Remember now, I think it was late last year.
Of course.
That happened.
Is that the only one?
That we were complaining that how can 222?
There was another 600 before that time that made some soldiers to resign from the military.
No, this one is not military, it's even police force.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what military police? What is the difference? Pressure. I said until somebody takes the bull by the horn and say this thing will stop, it will never stop. Forget it. I told you here that Tinubu will be struggling to please everybody. If not, have you seen him take a very drastic action against these terrorists? Have you had him do something that is extraordinary to prove that yes, he's not happy with what is going on? Have you? No, tell me, have you? So that means he is trying to please some people now. It's obvious. That is just the simple truth. He is there at the behest of some people, and they have told him where to go and where not to go, what to do and what not to do, and he's following their footsteps. That is the Nigeria you have come to live with. Every day they'll be telling you and I to contribute money for ransom, this and that. Meanwhile, they know those behind it. The 400 names, what happened to them? So,
Mr. Darlington, it's difficult to believe that the authorities are aware of people causing this mayhem at the detriment or at the risk of the lives of the citizens that they have sworn to lead.
The people they are
it's such a difficult thing to believe.
They are killing, they have no name. They are the Talakawas. They are starting from the village, from the hinterland. Don't you see where they go to finish them? Villagers, innocent villagers who don't even know they don't even know what anybody is talking about. That is where they are starting. That's why when they kill them, they take over their homes, take over their land, take over their villages. Because it is obvious that political leaders are foiling this thing. Why can't they go extra mile and do what they're supposed to do? Anybody that is on a club in the wheel of progress of establishing this thing, remove them on the way and then remove these boys. But the military, they are now in bed with the politicians who are causing problems.
So, Mr. Darlington, the question that I've been battling not to ask, but I'll still ask is, if we now eventually do this crowdfunding and now get this money to these people,
that means you have been boarding them.
That's exactly what I want to ask.
So
does it not mean that we're now, we're indirectly funding terrorism? But then again, on the second thought, no family will close their eyes and do nothing and allow any of their own to be with these kidnappers and do nothing. Naturally, the normal instinct is to want to do whatever they say you should do to get your loved one. So then should people now stay and allow them to just kill their loved ones? That's another question. So what do we do then?
They have the solution to this matter. They are not ready to solve because there is something they are aiming at. Precious, I've told you this is, don't deceive yourself. There is something they want to achieve with this terrorism issue. You think they are joking? No. They are working towards an answer. I'm telling you, by the time they finish with the North, they will now throw down here. And when you complain, after all, the North have been suffering it for many years now. If it comes over here, what is the problem? They will justify it. If they could not save their own people over there, is it you that they will save? They are planning something that you and I should be aware of. Because you cannot tell me that this thing is ordinary. By now, since some of them know that the people causing this problem are from outside, at least Buhari said it in the United States, then why can't you give order? I expect a Nigerian president, the same way we said Ghana must go. Look, Anybody that is not from Nigeria, you don't have any business doing here. Return to where you came from within 24 hours or else. Have you had any Nigerian president say such a thing? No, they will not. Because some particular people are involved. They are involved. Anything that has to that threaten their stay in Nigeria is not welcomed. So they must continue to do what they are doing until that aim is achieved. Don't deceive yourself. I have said this several times, and I want somebody to challenge me. They are aiming at something. All this after a few weeks they will relax. Then the next month they will start. Since it just happened, everybody thought that would be the end. Oh yeah. Look at what is going on. So there is something that somebody is somewhere fueling. For them not to even prosecute non-sponsors of terrorism. None. Not that they are invisible. What does that tell you? Who are the people sponsoring this thing? What is their aim? Who are the people being killed? Every time they be telling you stories as if we are children. We don't know what to do.
Mr. Darlington, let's move quickly to other conversations.
But if somebody call for here, they will deploy all the army, all the military, every DSS will wake up. So what does that tell you? You have not solved the problem there, but when somebody say no, we don't want you go after him here.
Okay.
Please.
Because that thing you just said was exactly what somebody said. Somebody just said, somebody tweeted, or some people, I think someone tweeted on Twitter, said, how is it that if you say something now against maybe the first lady of, whether it is when Aisha Buhari was around or now, and the police will find you wherever you are, because the police people have said it before that it's funny that people think that they can just tweet anyhow or talk anyhow on social media, that they can actually be found. But how is it that they can find you, but they can't find the terrorist or the bandits? And these bandits collect ransom. But they can find you wherever you are if they want to get you, but they can't find the terrorists.
So who are they deceiving? That is why I keep telling you that northern leaders should be called out. They should be called out. The last time I checked, they have the highest number of personnel in the military, in DSS, in everywhere. Can't they call themselves and say, look, enough is enough. This thing is becoming an embarrassment. If they truly mean what they are doing or what they are saying, can they call themselves and say, look, we want to stop this, and then they take it up? But because they want to achieve a particular aim,
all right, so Mr. Darlington, let's move to straight to Abuja, where we hear the residents of New Nowalege village in Abuja woke up to the sight of dozens of policemen and soldiers and scampered for safety at the as the cop fired tear gas to disperse them from their homes. Now, this according to a report. So this happened yesterday, Monday morning. Armed police officers stood guard as houses in Nowalege village next to the Air Force base in Abuja were demolished. Law enforcement agents, AMAC officials, soldiers, and police officers prevented residents from entering their homes and threatened to seize phones. The security operatives manhandled the person who took photos of the demolition. They said about 11:19 a.m. police officers began firing tear gas to disperse people. Now, the residents said they received a letter in mid-December stating that the Nigerian Air Force needed the land to build a runway, but they said the emir of the village asked them not to worry, assuring them that their homes would not be demolished. Indigenes were informed that the emir fled the community on Saturday, January 6, in the middle of the night. The FCTA could not be immediately reached for comments on the demolition and possible compensation for the residents. Now, Mr. Darlington, I don't know if you remember a time that they said we needed to make more space for more aircrafts, especially presidential fleets. Remember?
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do.
Okay. And that some villages around Abuja would be affected, but that they will be probably taken care of.
Exactly.
This may just likely be that incident.
That is it.
But it is so sad that these people were just informed last week, and then in December, and boom, this is happening now. What is the proper compensation for them? Understanding the housing deficit we have in the country, now you have rendered a few more people homeless. Where would they move to?
You see, when the FCT was penciled down as the Federal Capital Territory by Justice Aguda, he was the one that was the chairman of that committee. All the Gwari people and all the people that were supposed to, because they were very scanty, there was an agreement to resettle them and compensate them. All these things that they are saying now, there is a...
So is it that the Gwari people are gradually being pushed away?
That is where I'm going. There was an Abuja master plan where all these government spaces were taken care of. So, when did it become a priority to now start demolishing people's homes? Where were you when these homes were being erected, or was it erected overnight? If the needful was done, there won't be need for all this demolition. That is the first thing I should think. Because if you are taking over a place as a government, there should be compensation for, because they are the original inhabitants of that land. If government is taking it for public purpose, they should compensate the owners of that land, because they have been there. That is what the law says. It's a different thing if you are going to build in an illegal space. But these are people you took over their land to create a federal capital territory. So what is wrong in compensating them? That is the question anybody should ask. And now you are going to demolish. So what have you done? You have created more destitute in the street. Because those people, they have no other place than to enter the street to start begging. The environment you want to clean up, you are even messing it up the more. That is it. So I don't know where those people will go to now. And that is the federal capital territory. What is wrong in relocating them? Build a place for them. After all, you are the one that took over their land. Nothing, no compensation, nothing. You just demolish their property.
All right, so Mr. Darlington, let's move to Ekiti State, where something, I want to finish with all the crime cases and then we'll move to other conversations. So activities were paralyzed and perhaps still paralyzed at the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, Yusuf, Ado Ekiti, as a result of an emergency and an indefinite strike declared by the labor unions at the hospital following an attack by suspected hoodlums who invaded the medical facility. Now, reports reaching newsmen had it that some suspected hoodlums today, Monday, invaded the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital at Ekiti and attacked some doctors. It was gathered that the hoodlums destroyed some facilities at the hospital and stole a corpse suspected to be the father of one of the hoodlums. At the moment, the Association of the Resident Doctors Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, Ado Ekiti, has directed its members to embark on an indefinite strike with immediate effect. Now, this was contained in a letter addressed to the Chief Medical Director, Professor Kayode Olabanji, and signed by the President of the Association, Dr. Famous Adeyemi. They quoted that and they quoted all of that. But Mr. Darlington, my concern now is you were attacked by hoodlums who eventually caused all the havoc that they wanted to cause and then went ahead to carry the cops they wanted to carry. That means there's a direction. There is a chain of direction that you can follow, right? How will the sick people now? How does that how? In fact, why would people who are sick, who are coming to now seek for help in the hospital, now suffer for the sins of hoodlums that the doctors will not leave them and go on strike? And trust me, somebody would die because of this strike action.
Of course. The question you should ask yourself:
a human being would die because of this strike action. What happens?
Where we are,
and what were the security agencies?
Where we are there when hoodlums, you didn't hear the name you gave them, hoodlums. So everybody is now a law unto himself that you can do whatever. If you want a particular corpse to be released to you, do you need to attack the hospital for that? Tell me. Do you need, where we are the police, these people that I always say intelligence gathering, you were not there. Your intelligence did not tell you that hoodlums want to attack a hospital. You mean there are no policemen in Ekiti? I mean, no policemen within the vicinity to stop this. You call them hoodlums, so you didn't call them terrorists. They were able to overrun a teaching hospital and do whatever they wanted to do and got away with it. So you can see lawlessness all over. That is the meaning. Governance are broken down. That's why these boys have the temerity. They don't even have respect for the dead. They want to go and steal a corpse. If it is you're one of the court member or whatever, should you go that way to remove the corpse? I don't understand. And now many people will suffer for the sin of one corpse. or whatever is the problem. So you can see that everybody now, people now, they now take laws into their hands. If you are aggrieved, you gather some boys, give them something, they will go and do damage, and nobody will talk, because the law has broken down. If not, why should such a thing happen in a hospital? In a hospital, and people are now on strike because of hoodlums. Pressure because of hoodlums. You can imagine how things have gone upside down in Nigeria. Things that you cannot think of in a Senate clan is happening here, and people are condoning it. Now, how many people would die because of this? Have you imagined? Have you imagined
people who cannot access healthcare because of the strike, right?
The few people that are there now, what will be their fate? Maybe their own people will organize some boys to come and remove them too, Abi? Because that corpse is not the only corpse in that mortuary. Yes, now people will come and be picking their own corpse with a brigandage, with a violence. That is the country you have come to inherit. And you have a government, just young boys, they act with so much arrogance, so much impunity.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let's move forward to see how the government's efforts in tackling all of these issues, especially corruption now. So the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has reopened money laundering cases against 13 ex-governors and some former ministers, with the amounts involved running into over 853.8 billion naira. You can call it at most, at least, close to 1 trillion naira only. Remember, there is somebody's account that's about 8 trillion plus or so. I didn't want to say that. So now findings reveal that the amount at stake in the high profile cases involving the former governors and ex-ministers was not less than 772.2 billion naira. However, the anti-graft agency is currently investigating the 81.6 billion naira that was allegedly looted in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. And then another 2.2 billion naira was alleged to have been missing through money laundering, fund diversion, and misappropriation in recent times. And they said another $2.2 billion was allegedly diverted by former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki, late media mogul Raymond Dokwesi, former governor of Sokoto State, Atahiro Bafarawa, and former Minister of State for Finance, Bashiru Yuguda, and others. Now, according to the EFCC, the money was meant for arms procurement in support of the war against terrorists, this same war, but it was laundered, diverted, and misappropriated. While Dasuki was in custody of the DSS of State Services in 2015, the EFCC arrested Dokwesi, Bafarawa, and Yuguda, and others. In fact, this matter, it gets long. Let me quickly list some of the governors who were affected by this. I hear that Fayoshe, Kwankwaso, Nnamani, Lamido, Silva, that is Timipre Silva, are some of those who are affected. And Gezani is also part of some of the ministers that were affected by this. So this is a reawakening of old wound for some of these people already. Already these names were already in the news for all some of these stuffs back in the days, right? So, Mr. Darlington, very quickly. But whilst you're responding to that, let me also quickly let you know that the Code of Conduct Bureau has invited the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, over the involvement or the involvement of his company in an alleged 438 million naira contract scam uncovered in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Now, the CCB has commenced an investigation into the alleged breach of code of conduct for public officers by the minister. Now, a company, New Planet Projects, allegedly belonging to the minister, benefited from an alleged contract scam from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So the bottom line is, come and answer question. Let's see how you can do this or why you should do this. So the document signed by Gwimpi SDP, the CCB Director, Investigation and Monitoring, on behalf of the CCB Chairman, Murtala Aliyu, revealed that the Bureau's investigation, or invitation rather, to the Honorable Minister is hinged on the mandate and powers as enshrined in the 3rd Schedule, Part 1, 3, Subsection E of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Now, the letter addressed to the minister read, the Bureau is investigating a case of alleged breach of the Code of Conduct for public officers in which your name featured prominently. Consequently, you were invited for an interview scheduled as follows. Date is Tuesday, tomorrow, 16 January 2024. Time is 11:00 hours. Prompt. Venue is CCB headquarters and 5th floor, Annex 3, Phase 1, Federal Secretariat Complex, Abuja. Further, the letter further reads, this invitation is pursuant to the mandate and powers of the Bureau as enshrined in the 3rd Schedule, Part 1, Paragraph 3, Subsection E of the 1999 Constitution. It read on. So, Mr. Darlington, now, is there likely anything to come out of all of this at the end of the day? Because, first of all, the Code of Conduct is stating that he infringed a law. By right, anybody who's a public office holder is not supposed to have any company owned by them or anything concerning them, get favor or get contracts that is government related. But he's saying that he resigned from that company way back in 2015 or 2019 thereabouts. That's when he resigned from the company. He's no longer a director in the company, but his wife is. So if his wife is, does he affect him personally? Is your wife different from you? I'm just wondering.
Precious.
Sir? You
see why at times when I see government officials or government agencies acting in such a manner that you begin to ask yourself, these people, do they even know their own core mandate? Do they even know how to carry out their duties? The man told you he resigned from that company. Abi?
Yes, sir.
Good. And as in that time, the wife is the one running that company.
So we heard.
If there is any infraction for the wife, my dear, invite the wife.
Are you saying as a serving minister he should be exonerated? He's a serving minister.
Hold on. You will not
and this deal was gotten, under another serving minister.
Listen very well.
Okay.
Since it has been satisfied that yes, he resigned, and that is what he's banding. He's carrying about that he has resigned, he has no business with the company and all that. Fine, we agree. You establish it before you went into public service. And nobody will tell you to dissolve your company because you are coming to serve Nigeria. No. If any money or any contract was gotten by that company in a very shady manner, then the CCB should go for those people who are running the company. The wife is there. Invite the wife. Let her tell us how she got that contract.
That consultation fee alone is over 400 million naira. If consultation fee is 400 million naira, Bikonu, how much would the amount of the contract now be?
I'm saying. Why is it that nobody has mentioned the wife in this matter? You can see how people they disable their case before even get to court. The man will tell you that he had resigned from the company, and it is an obvious fact. So why not go for those who are running the company? From there, if they want to indict him, then that's why we will not invite him. No, on this one, nobody has mentioned Tunji Ojo's wife, who is now running the company. Nobody. Is that how to handle a case? By the time you go to court now, the court say this man have no case to answer. They say, they have bribed them, injustice, this and that, man no man. Because you fail to do the needful. How can you continue to call this man's name when he has told you that he doesn't even know how the company is being run? Then go to those who are running the company. That is it. Trace the account. Whether his signature, when last he signed anything on that company. That is how to do investigation to get the real person you are looking for. Well, Precious, our people that don't know, just that way I told that all this fire brigade approach here and there. You attack this person, you are handling this person, you invite this person. It's just a small screen. If you do due diligence, you don't need us
So how about the case of the ex-governors and ministers? And EFCC is saying they will leave no stone unturned.
Leave that thing. Is it not this the silver? Remember when 48 of his houses were returned to him in Abuja? Remember, before he was made the junior minister of petroleum. Was it not the same EFCC that returned those properties? That they will not go back to their vomit, Abi? pressure, they will not go back to their vomit. All these governors, we are they not in this country? How come all the charges against them were dropped, and now you want to go and wake them up for what? That will tell you that we are not fighting any corruption. They just want to use this to divert our attention. Tinubu is looking for a way to clean up his image. That is the way I see it. If not, EFCC, we are there not in existence when this infractions were committed. How come they drop the case?
Why would the president want to please anyone if you think he wants to clean it? What happened to his image that he's cleaning? Mr. Darlington, no.
How he came into office.
How did he come into office? He was voted and he won election.
Please leave that thing, leave that thing, please leave that thing. Okay, these cases now, did they happen today? Why is this VFC telling that they are going back to them? Money that has been frittered overseas, money that they even use for election, money that they even use to sponsor their principal. You want to go and collect it? These are just with share. Nothing will do.
So your honest opinion is that nothing will come out of this?
None of these governors will go to jail. The one that we are jailed the other time, didn't Buhari bring them out of prison? I even gave them national honor. Precious, two of us. Nyame and the other man from is it not Benue Plateau? Where not here when they were brought out? They were brought out. Where not here? Even money was being paid to them, even while they were in prison. Well, Precious, please, I don't want anything to irritate me this evening.
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Okay, so let's go to where we may hear very good news.
$780 million. So that what will happen?
Mr. Darlington, we have
they brought out what happened. This one that is under your nose here. At least let us start from the low hanging fruit. The one that happened immediately. Bring out those money. We are talking of 23 trillion naira. In CBN investigation, has they done anything about it?
But the investigation of CBN is still ongoing. It's still ongoing.
Everything is still. They will investigate that matter till in the next 20 years.
That's not true, Mr. Darlington.
Okay,
so now there is good news from Port Harcourt as the Port Harcourt oil refinery comes to life. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has concluded plans to hand over the government refinery to private operators. Should be when I say government knows how to handle business, or private people make on handle more so that we're going to get fuel. So the NNPCL said it is seeking to engage reputable and credible operations and maintenance companies to operate and maintain the Port Harcourt refining company. In fact, it said was to ensure reliability and sustainability towards meeting the nation's fuel supply and energy security obligations. Okay, so that's what. So, Mr. Darlington, people have often said that government is not a good business manager. So now, NNPC now said, well, Kukuma Limited Liability Company, let's wash our hands off like Pontius Pilate from this refinery matter and give it to a reputable private company that will run it and return investments. Go ahead.
So, what happened to NNPC?
I didn't know a private company, so that's subletting. Perhaps that's what this means.
No. NNPC.
They are the ones who are saying this. They are the ones in charge. So NNPC is saying that they are handing it over. That they are looking for a reputable,
Precious, please.
A reputable and credible operations and maintenance company to operate a company that will operate it effectively now.
Hold on,
so that our refining capacity and everything will be
well. You were here when they told you that NNPC had been privatized.
Now
hold on. On what basis will the same company be now telling you they are going to bring somebody to run Port Harcourt refinery, a private company?
Because our refinery is still under them now.
Are you serious?
Our refinery is still under NNPC now.
What is the privatization there now?
It is under NNPC still now.
What is the privatization there? Tell me how.
I don't understand. They are not privatizing it. What they are saying is that they are subletting to private companies to run the refinery.
They are not the one who's supposed to be doing this. If they have been privatized, they are not the one who's supposed to be doing this. That's what I'm saying. I have told you that is part of what I'm saying here. If you want it to be done right,
but Mr. Darlington, they still remain the sole people responsible for everything about our oil now.
What is the reason?
But Mr. Darlington, are they not the ones in charge of our oil?
If they are, on what basis? Then you should have left it as it was instead of telling us that it has been privatized. That's what I'm telling you now. What is it? United. When government removed their hand there, what came out of it? Globe. MTN, Airtel, Etisalat. Is that not what came out of Nitel? Please, is that not what came out of Nitel? Why is it that this NNPC Even after you have told us that it has been privatized, they are still running the show. What are you telling me? Who is that signing the check for NNPC?
Did you hear that they said they made over how many trillion naira profits in 2022?
Well, look, Nigeria, I don't know how Nigeria do.
But they're making profit for the country now. Did you not hear the amount of profit they made for us?
Precious, please,
sir?
Please. I don't like it when people are playing on my intelligence.
Sorry,
it annoys me, seriously. It really annoys me. I don't know why Nigerians are kept quiet over this NNPC. With all that is going on there. You saw how the managing director was praised to high heaven the other day by Tinubu. And I asked myself, what is that extraordinary thing this man have done in an NPC? What is that thing that will warrant such a praise?
Okay.
That will even make him to return that job.
So, Barrister Darlington, let's quickly move. We don't have time.
The man that was there before you privatized is still running the show. All the staffs are there. So, what have you done? I just gave you an example with Nitel. That is not how things are done. So anybody should not come and deceive me. They can deceive every Nigerian, not me. They have not told us what is happening in an NPC. The moment they tell us, we will know.
Okay, so Barrister Darlington, let's move quickly to your inflation. We hear that Nigeria's inflation rate increased to 28.9% in December 2023 due to the rise in food prices, and this is according to National Bureau of Statistics. That's what they said today. Now, it was disclosed in the NBS Consumer Price Index (CPI), which measures the rate of change in price of goods and services. So let me just go straight to the inflation that has to do with food, because that's the one that is affecting you and I. They say Nigeria food inflation rose to 33.93% in December alone. December 2023. And this was from 32.83% recorded in November 2023. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, discloses in their Consumer Price Index, as I mentioned earlier, that it reported today, Monday. This represents a 2.72% increase compared to the figure recorded in November, the previous month. Now, the report indicated a 10.18% increment compared to the rate recorded in the corresponding period in 2022. That is, in December 2022, it be like it's at 10% on top. Now, the food inflation on a month-on-month basis was caused by a rise in the average price of oil and fat, meat, bread and cereals, potatoes, yam, and others. Perhaps other tubers like potatoes and all that. Fish and milk, as well as cheese and eggs. This is part of why we have this inflation. Barrister Darlington, very quickly, are we surprised to have seen this level of inflation? Is it not just a normal December thingy? You know that there's always that surge in price of things in December. Really? It's just normal now.
Before December, what was happening? Look, my dear, don't let nobody be deceived. With the insecurity, it is going to get worse. It's a fact. I mean, if you are not an economist, you should know that things are going to get worse. Because no progress can come where there is insecurity. That is serious insecurity.
So you think that this whole bandit issues and the fact that people can't access their farms in peace is part of the reason?
People are contributing here and there to go and pay some rascals in the bush. And they'll be feeding fat. They will use it to go and buy arms to arm themselves. So how can you make progress with that? As I talk to you today, some part of Zamfara, even Katsina, or all those areas, bandits are still collecting it's collecting taxes from farmers.
Niger State is part of them now. The last time we heard Niger State,
Can you imagine? I'm talking of the biggest state in the whole country. Some part of it has been taken over, where bandits and terrorists are now government of their own. They collect taxes. The governor said it.
The Niger State situation is so dire that they said that one person can pay as much as 20,000-30,000 to cross roads to pass.
Can you imagine?
For a vehicle to pass. They will charge you that amount of money. Sometimes 2-3 vehicles can join together and pay 100,000 naira
to cross in your own country. So how can you make progress with that? What kind of farm are you going to? What are you going to do in that farm? You will say, let me just save my head and sit at home. And government is aware. The state governor is aware. These people that are gathering intelligence, they are aware. So what are they doing? Pressure. What are they doing when the governor has cried out? That means these people have become more powerful than the government itself. That's the meaning. Pressure, that's the meaning. Let us not be deceived ourselves. So when I told you that Tinubu may not even, he will struggle all through his 4 years, trying to please everybody. If this president we shouldn't hear this type of thing. We should not hear about this type of that. Terrorists are collecting taxes from Nigerians in one part of Nigeria. They are taking over. They are not a government of their own. And every day police will be telling her intelligent gathering. Tell her that I no go agree is revolution. What that revolution that's going on over there? They have not heard about it, Abi.
All right. So Bryce Darlington, very quickly, let's attend to our last conversation, our last story before we open our phone lines.
The day we got to 40% before June. Go and mark my word. It's 40%. When you will now want to buy a loaf of bread,
it's not our portion.
I have had it. Did you believe that your dollar will get to where it is today? Did you believe?
Right.
When it was rising, they say they excuse it with all manner of economic jargon. But today it has come to stay. Has it not?
All right. So Barrister Darlington, very quickly, Professor Patutomi says that Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso have agreed to form a mega party. So, political economist Professor Patutomi said this presidential candidates of People's Democratic Party (PDP), that is Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party (Peter Obi), and New Nigeria People's Party, that is Kwankwaso, have agreed to form a mega party that would wrestle power from the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in 2027. Utomi made this revelation in an interview on China's television yesterday, Sunday. So, asked if Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Kwankwaso, Peter Obi, and Okenwosu have agreed to come together, Utomi said yes. He was then asked what name they had decided to call the coalition. Utomi replied, "We're not talking about names yet. Besides these politicians I mentioned, I'm talking about leaders of social movement, the labor movement, and so on." He also did say, I have even been part of creating a new tribe. Nigerians who are committed to certain values, who say, I will not give a bribe, I will not take a bribe. And you can then create a set of values that can lead to progress in the country. Quoting him further, he says, the way we are today, a few people in the world are willing to engage with Nigeria. They think there is a collapse of culture and values in Nigeria. You can't trust Nigerians. All kind of things are here in Nigeria. So he said. So, he went on and on and on. So he said something about it being a clean start for Nigerians. He said it's really clean start. You have to start from the premise that Nigeria has not had a political party since 1999. The one we get since they call them. We don't know. He said, and let's be very honest with ourselves. What we have managed is to create platforms that enable machine politics from which to grab power, usually for state capture. He said a lot though, but Mr. President, I'm a bit worried. If this coalition were to be formed, who is likely going to emerge their presidential candidate? Because that's a problem. Atiku Abubakar has hinted on contesting again in 2027. Of course, Kwankwaso called Peter Obi Andrew's liver salt that just goes up and whistles off. And then Peter Obi too. And Labour Party, having different occasions, said that they are not going to form coalition with anyone. But everyone who understands politics have said it several times, that the only way to wrestle power is to form a coalition. Barrister Darlington.
If you are going to form a coalition of strange bedfellows, how will it work? Because it's about, if you are going to form it has to be with people of like minds. Look, I respect Professor Patutomi. I respect him. I mean, he's a man I respect so much. I've said it several times. I like his way of doing things and his style. Patutomi can never give you bribe. He will not. He will not be part of this shenanigan. In fact, that was why APC shut him out. He was one of those who wrote to their manifesto. But when they discovered that this man, he is too decent, he wouldn't do things the way we want it, they left him out. So, if there will be such a coalition, remember that Nigerian politics have been monetized. Remember. And this APC, like I know them, with Akpabio in the Senate, what money cannot do, more money can do it. Is that not their principle?
Who said so?
is it not your Niger Delta man, Akpabio?
Who said so?
Akpabio. You're asking me.
You heard him say that personally?
What are you saying?
When?
Please. Now, Precious.
Sir?
A coalition, for me, a coalition is not what Nigeria need now or any party need now. I'm telling you. It's not what we need. Because that coalition is coming with people, it's coming with baggages. So at a point, part of Tommy may be overwhelmed by what people are coming into this coalition with. The same Nigerian mentality, the same Nigerian culture, the same Nigerian principle will come into this coalition. And that is where APC will not take advantage and torpedo it. Remember what Akpakpa and this other person is doing in the Labour Party. There is nothing, look, it is not beyond APC to sponsor destroyers to come into
Why would any party do that to another party?
They will tell you it's politics. Pressure. They will tell you, did you see what Akpakpa is doing in the Labour Party that he claimed that he loves so much? Did you see what he's doing there? No, tell me, who is sponsoring him? Is it me? Who is sponsoring him? They will even give the person more power than the real people in the party. So, what Nigeria need now is, in fact, there's something that the party said. He said, if he were 30 years younger, he would have done what Paul Kagame did in Rwanda. He had gone into the bush, put on it to save. He said it. I have been saying it that since these people have refused to listen, this thing that people are running away, this thing that police are talking, they will call it with their hands. I'm telling you, they will call it with their hands, because when people are tired, when people are frustrated, they are the ones who will say, look, enough is enough. But when you now form a coalition, they have religious differences. They have tribal differences. By that time, you now see Atiku and his people. They will come and tell you that they have the larger number. Therefore, Atiku must be the president. Who will now play the second fiddle? P2B. With all the effort he made during the last election. All this thing will now be fizzled out. P2B, the goodwill he has garnered so far among Nigerian youth, it will be lost. That's what I'm telling you. It will be lost. Because all of them will not be what? They will not dissolve them into this mega party. So who are the Atiku crowd? Who are the Obi crowd? Who are the Kwakwaso crowd? Remember, Kwakwaso only had 1 million, no? 1 million. And
only in Kano State.
Only in Kano State. He will be coming to play the senior brother, because you tell him that he's senior Obi. I don't know what seniority had to do with this thing now.
He also says that his CV surpasses that of Obi.
He read book more than God. So,
and politically he's been more relevant than Obi.
So he has been a military, the Minister of Defense and all that. Is that what we are talking about? That is what I'm telling you, that mentality, selfish interest may torpedo what part to Tommy is proposing. I am telling you. So
you think it won't work? So Barrister Danisi, very quickly, let me have
Nigerians will say, look, some people will leave their own brother and vote for the person, like they did in Lagos State.
So Barrister Danisi, you know that we didn't have time on Saturday for us to, on Friday rather, for us to talk about the Supreme Court judgments. Would you like to chime in on that very quickly? What's your?
Yes, I think I did it on the.
Especially, on the premise of what Galadima said, telling Tinubu that Nigeria would have been on fire if Supreme Court had sacked by Yusuf.
No, nothing.
I think that's correct.
Nothing would have happened. The only thing is that not Nigeria. It say Kano. Nigeria wouldn't have been on fire. Say Kano. If you say Kano, I will agree with you. But Nigeria, no.
Is his word I'm quoting.
Now, because Nigeria, where the matter has been settled, what concerns them? If they want to bomb Kano, people will say, what is our own?
But did you see that human tsunami? There was this large, huge crowd on the streets of Kano, proud to that announcement.
Pressure.
Sir?
I am worried.
That what?
I'm worried.
What?
That people now get justice through brigandage, through violence, through intimidation.
Who got justice through that?
That's what I'm telling you. Like you said in Kano, that they read the mood of Kano people that they were going to do mayhem. That's why they gave them the is that proper? No, is that proper? I was thinking that the Supreme Court or even the NJC will sanction those appeal court judges who did that thing in Jos.
I was also hoping. Okay, so you know the thing in Jos now that the Supreme Court has upturned what the appeal courts did, right? What now becomes the faith of the House of Assembly members whose final court of jurisdiction education ends in the appeal court. So what now happens?
That's what I'm telling you now. They are now in a dilemma. That's why the speaker said he will not recognize them. But the appeal court have said what they said. You have not that. You can't even take it to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, they only made that comment, but it doesn't hold water because the matter was not even before the Supreme Court.
The matter can't go to the Supreme Court.
It can't go there. The law says it ends there. It's like the law said that all this presidential and governorship ends at the Supreme Court. After Supreme Court, even if you don't like it, do you think if there's any other court, Atiku and Obi wouldn't have gone? They would have gone now, but they don't have any other place to appeal to. That is the issue.
Okay, so let's visit that of Rivers State very quickly. Today, the court has reserved judgment on Tony Cole and what's his name, and my governor Fubara's case, right? We do not know what the outcome would be, but we know that Fubara had a meeting last week with the president that he refused to tell the president the outcome of the meeting. But then we woke up this morning to him, giving back the names of about, some commissioners that resigned under him, resubmitting their names to the same House of Assembly that he's not recognizing.
That's the outcome of the meeting. Recognize my people. If you want to remain governor.
So now they are going to be rescreened again. What's the essence of resubmitting names of those who willingly resigned?
Precious.
Sir?
That is the governance in Nigeria for you. They say we should move on. What do you want me to say now? They said it's proper that Tinubu intervened. He's trying to make peace. Making peace in an infamy. In the first place, on what ground is Wike in the picture in Rivers State? On what basis will anybody be making peace with Wike? What is the basis? That's what nobody have told me. So when they say it is good, intervene on what? That is the question. What are you intervening on? Instead of you to tell your minister, don't disturb the man in Rivers. That is what I expected Tinubu to do. Not giving writing.
Mr. Dalensi, you know that politics has always been a game of interest. So let's Lagos phone lines are open. Mr. Dalensi, let's quickly take calls.
Against our constitution, against our laws, against the people. Is that an interest? That is not an interest. It's an infamy. It is an infraction against our laws.
All right, Lagos phone lines are now officially open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions. 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 9039. That is 0700 907 903 903, right? That is 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. But then the WhatsApp line is 0700 903 9039. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions and the conversations that we've had on the front burner this evening. I'll let you in on those. I'll run them through again for you, but after this call. Hello, good evening to you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, my sister.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Malam Bello Usman. I'm calling from Isheri.
You're welcome, Malam Bello. Go ahead. Let's hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Like you started with the issue of it. You see, number one, how possible on earth that the president will appoint chief of defense as the former governor of Zamfara State?
No. He's chief of defense. This minister for defense, minister of states for defense.
Yes. Thank you for that correction. Okay, now for example, if you remember when the new GOC of Army, what is the name of that division, posted to Zamfara, he said they are going to attack bandit hard in Zamfara State. The next thing that the former governor of Zamfara State did is to run to Gwari that. nephews, that they should forgive them and reliberate them into the society. If you remember, you are
yes, the fact.
Go ahead.
Yes,
are you with me?
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that kind of a person, at the same time, at the end of the day, he became a minister of defense in this country. But President Ahmed Bola Tinubu had to think about that right now if you want to fight insecurity.
Yeah.
So let me get your point straight. You're trying to say that putting the minister, former governor Bello Matawalle, as Minister of State for Defense or in charge or anywhere around defense alone is risk. Is a risk to our security.
It should be removed immediately as far as this country is concerned.
Why? Why?
Somebody that is begging to forgive bandits, to forgive this kind of criminal. Are they want to forgiveness? Are they want forgiveness?
Is another leader.
And if you forgive them, if you forgive those people, then people like us that are law abiding of this country, what do you expect us to do? This is
but he's not. But let me calm down. He's not the only northerner who has shown support in any way for bandits. I could remember, is it not Adamu Garba who said that bandits are freedom fighters of the or northern freedom fighters? But are you two? You're a northerner. But you two, you're a northerner. Why do? What part of north are you from? What part of the north are you from?
I am from Borno State.
You're from Borno State, and you don't share this sentiment.
I don't believe in forgiving any criminal like bandits, Boko Haram, or kidnapper in any part of this country.
Better.
Do you understand?
Better.
So
yes,
how can if you want to curb insecurity in the country, how can you appoint somebody like that that says that criminals should be forgiven? Okay, today let me ask you, where is Wadume?
I wonder.
Where is Kabiru Sokoto that masterminded the Madeline Niger State in
Christmas Day bombing?
Numbers of people were working. Where is Kabiru Sokoto? But at the end of the day, I witnessed what's happening in Lagos State here. Although I am not justifying any kind of criminality in this country, the Odumeme, what is his name? That also a kidnapper, Evans, what is his name? Where is he today? He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Why Kabiru Sokoto and Wadume? Even the correctional center that was attacked by some bandits, that so many criminals were released. Kabiru Sokoto wasn't there. Wadume wasn't there. What are we talking about? Let the president think fast and remove Matawalle as a minister for self-defense. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I wish your leaders are listening. So they should start deceiving us.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Lagos phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903. Let's take your thoughts and reactions there. I have too many WhatsApp messages, Mr. Darlington. They want to finish me with WhatsApp. All right, let me read a few of them. This says, good evening, Precious and Darlington. Mr. Jude from Okota, please, Nigerians should sit up if the government can't save us. Let everybody get his or her own way of saving themselves, and then come and arrest people because I believe them not come and arrest people because we cannot do what? So something about we cannot continue like this. That's what you said. All right. Hello, good evening to you.
Hi, Precious.
Hello, welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Remy.
Hi, Remy. You're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I'm not sure you spoke about the 3 billion plus spent on his trip in a period of 6 months.
On whose trip?
The same person.
On whose trip?
On his trip now. His trip.
The official
about 6 billion plus, about 3 billion plus.
3.4.
In a period of 6 months.
But now we have, that is why we have, sorry, I say we, as if I'm the president. Well, that is why the president has now cut down on his, travel entourage now, so that money will not be spent again now. The president has heard your cry and has realized that it is not good to spend that kind of money. So moving forward, let's see the next 6 months.
He should employ you as a spokesperson then.
No. The budget. What is in the budget? What is in the budget for travel? My precious.
And the funny thing is,
budget for travel.
The problem is that what is in that budget now? Now that we've slashed our entourage by 60%. So I don't know where we'll put the remaining 40%. That 60% money now, where will it go to?
Okay, they will give it to you at the end of the day, Abi.
No, now. Please
I'm not surprised.
Remy, go ahead, please.
You don't know how this
I know Sabi works safe. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
For the record, Tinubu has never been known prudent.
I didn't get you. I think we lost the part of the conversation.
When it comes to state funds, never been prudent. Check his record in Lagos State. He has never been prudent when it comes to funds, state funds.
So Remy, I think it's unfair for you to make that claim, especially understanding that the times then and now is not the same thing. Times are different.
Is he not the same person?
Times are different, and he understands that Nigerians are suffering. If you write his New Year message, what he said from the broad streets of Lagos to the creeks of Bayelsa, he could hear your cry. He hears your will. He's empathetic about what you're feeling and what you're going through, and he understands. And he heard all the big power cry. You understand? And he's willing to do something about it. And perhaps that's what touched his heart so much that he said, no. How can a whole 50 people follow me and travel? From now on, only 20 people will follow me. You don't try. So please.
To do now, the most difficult job is to defend this government.
I'm not defending. My job is not to defend
anybody who's been employed. Check all those who employed, who defends him each time. The argument doesn't make, as in the end, argument. So that's my point.
All right. Thank you, Remy. I appreciate you.
Don't worry. We have entered into 2024. By the end of this year, we'll know how far.
Hello. Good evening to you.
We'll know how far.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yes. Welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you. Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Barrister, good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, my name is Diokpo Noah.
Diokpo, you're welcome.
Yes, I'm reaching you from Aburu.
Aburu, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, Aburu, very close to Baja.
Okay.
Yes. My contribution is that I want to thank Mr. Darlington because he has spoken so much. His speech is like he's very, very touched, very, very annoyed. But indeed, I think he's speaking the mind of the majority of Nigerians. And he goes this. The truth is that Fubara of governor of Rivers State, I think he has done his downfall. He has done it because if for any reason an appointment was given to somebody on a platter of gold, and for no reason you say you don't want to work again, why must somebody somewhere either persuade you or compel you to say, reabsorb these people? And immediately they are applied, we want to reconsider that. It is not done. Job is very fast in Nigeria. Don't give me a job and you say you don't work again and you come, you just throw it in and they will give it back to you. That is a very grievous mistake on the part of Governor Fubara. He has done it and he has done it. Secondly, it is unfortunate that in Nigeria we fight corruption in different forms. We're never serious. Buhari is not different from Tinubu. And if indeed we're very serious about fighting corruption, I don't think Wicked deserves to be appointed as a minister. After all he did during the last election, he's not qualified, he's not fit. But because Nigeria, we don't discuss ideas. We don't anything that will give us food on our table gives us satisfaction. Wicked is not qualified. By now,
why do you think he's not qualified? Why do you think he's not qualified?
I'm precious.
Sir?
I think I've been watching elections in Nigeria, and as far as I know, Rivers State has never come last to submitting elections. Every election, Rivers State has never come last, so they are supposed to be counted and declared to the public. But this time around, Rivers State wasted the time of Nigeria, wasted the time of Nigerians, everybody was apprehensive and anxious, waiting for results from Rivers. It was the result from Rivers as demanded by that changed format, changed the history of the election before they finally announced the election and they declared Tinubu winner. For that single reason, everything was not outside. They appointed a minister. He's a corrupt politician. And we should not stand against him. And he's now using his position as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to witch hunt and bring down somebody who was duly elected by the Rivers people. It is not fair. It is not. I don't know the part Tinubu is playing, because as far as I know, nobody lives forever on earth, and nobody has the prerogative of ruling forever in Nigeria. No, even though he rules, if he's complaining, he wants Rivers State by all means for PDP. He wants to continue to rule. Definitely, there must be a day we will say that tenure is over, and he will leave. The scheme Tinubu is playing is not proper. You don't do that as a father. Only last time he had a meeting with the APC governors. What is Tinubu the president of all the APC governors? Saying them to do well in their states.
Are you saying the president shouldn't hold meetings with his party governors? Is that a crime? Where in the constitution is that a crime?
If he's to hold such a meeting, it should be done at the party secretariat.
All right, I appreciate it.
APC is holding their meeting. APC is holding their meeting, but not to call the APC governors as if these are the people we know in Nigeria as the leaders of Nigeria. It's not. Tinubu should change his color.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Talking of making peace.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
When Galadima took over from Obasanjo, there was nonsense going on in Anambra, where Obasanjo, against court ruling, asked Andoba to remain in the Oka government house. Immediately Galadima took over. He gave order that Andoba, he gave him only 12 hours to leave that place. They withdrew all his security immediately. In fact, as Andoba was running out of Anambra government house, P2B was going in. That is a leader who look, don't pamper rubbish.
All right. Hello, good evening to you.
Don't pamper it.
Hello.
Hi, Prayer.
Sir.
Good evening from here.
Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. What's your name, please?
Good evening from here.
Good evening, my brother.
Thank you very much, Precious. This is C2 calling from Freetown.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Honestly, I've been watching what is going on in the River State. I just want to say something in River State. If I wish I could tell the youth of River State and the elders, the genuine ones, to stand for Fubara. Wike, this is tyrant of this is tyrant. It's enough. Somebody has to tell him that it's enough. You know, people should say the truth. Allow this man to do his job. Allow Fubara to do his job. Why must he be tormenting that man? Why? It's just because Nigeria has no constitution. Wike shouldn't have even been. Anyway, I don't want to go. When I look at what is going there, when I look at the way he's tormenting that young man, because of he has.
But is there any evidence of him tormenting anybody?
Precious, you have that.
I'm asking. But President said, no, please, I'm doing my job. Like, is there any evidence of him tormenting anybody?
Precious, you won't understand. That is what my brother Talita is trying to explain to you, and you won't understand. But I wish we have the youth that can say enough is enough. We don't have youth this time around. The youth we have these days are just Pagmaya's youth. But let me say something here. Social media is beginning to wake some people up. I appreciate that that guy from Borno that called. I think you can see the way he spoke. The way he spoke. Social media are beginning to wake people up. Before, go and check it before. What we hear is they'll be telling them that the Igbos are their problem. And this is what they grow with. I don't blame them. This is what they grow with. Yes, it's the truth. We know what is happening. So, but I thank God for social media these days. Everybody can see what social media is doing. And, do it in the right way to tell people that lies has been told. against some certain people, you know. And I thank God that people are beginning to reason. Before they won't speak like this, but now he came to say his mind and know that things are wrong. What their elders have been telling them is not right.
All right, thank you.
You see, so this is what I have to say. I appreciate you guys for the job that you are doing,
right,
and then I'm asking Nigerian government to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He did not commit any offense.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let me go straight to more messages. Barrister Darlington, we have a lot of messages. This here says, Francis from Festac says, great analyst in the studio. In fact, I always enjoy you when you're giving out your analysis, Mr. Darlington. You are the best analyst in the world. Away, the whole world like this. Barrister Darlington, if I were you, I won't take this. I won't take this sitting. I will be standing up and giving myself ovation. You said you've said it all. The power that be and the northern leaders know what they are. You know, those behind these things, and you said a lot. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And then this here says, good evening, Pretty Precious and Barrister Darlington. Please, I have observed that the word alleged is synonymous with the Nigerian media. The media is supposed to be fourth estate of the realm. Is the Nigerian media scared to say things as it is without using the word alleged? The way and manner the word is used by the Nigerian media is so annoying. My dear brother, come and join media and say the word the way you want to say it.
Say what you did.
Come and join the media. See, you know, it's good for you to judge things from your place where you are far away. Come and join the media and come and say it without alleged. We too are tired of alleging. Come and say it without alleged. Let's know that you're saying the truth. Come and be bold, All right. This says, how many did... Okay. This says, it's Adeyemi Kamuru from Satellite Lagos. He says, they almost killing in Southeast as they are in the northern region. The Southeast is the most insecure region of southern Nigeria. People were killed there in the Southeast by either ECN, the armed wing of terrorists, IPOB, or known gunmen. How many did Darlington condemn? Darlington, this I should ask you, sir. And then this here says, sorry, sir. Prince from Elasa says, good evening to the house that gave us a voice. Thank you for understanding that would you give you a voice. Say, Mr. Darlington, God bless you, sir. Just simple investigation. This government can not do. They can do. Don't say that. After they will tell us they are fighting corruption. People that are paying bandits billions of naira. I don't want to even say that. Barrister Darlington, remember what Zamfara State Governor said, Abi? I mean, not Matawale, the one that just took over from Matawale. That he said there is evidence that the government is, I don't want to say colluding. What was that word? That they are, negotiating. That the federal government is negotiating with bandits. Yes, he said that. He said he mentioned that he's saying it with his full chest that he can show evidence.
They were even threatening.
That's exactly what this message has just reminded me.
When the man said that if they push him more, he will mention and.
All right, this here says, point of correction, the military hierarchy are not the ones dying. It's the troops under the command that are dying, and that is why they never took action and will never take action against the terrorists. It's a business for them. Their own is to come and start talking in the media. All right. Dayo, I guess this is you. You said, or Chinemere from Agbara says, you will hear from security agents and analysts that security is the business of everybody. The citizens they are referring to, and are they not the same people that will report any insecurity threats to the security agencies, both army and the police, and they will not do anything to prevent or punish them? For over a long time now, we have been hearing about insecurities in this country. Have you heard any government make any law that would deter evil people from committing offenses like looting of public funds, kidnapping, stealing, etc.? The government is carrying shoulder to have made better laws that can make this country better and catch some thieves. But they have made any law? Have they made any law that will make evil people not to be terrorizing the country? These are the questions that I'm asking here. Barrister Darlington here. Livinus from Ejiboden says the investigation of former governors is nothing but strategic arm twisting of targeting governors who are considered useful to winning states which or where such former governors have winning influence to join APC ahead of 2027 election. Kwankwaso is one of them, and is coming just a few days. It was muted that the three major contenders in the 2023 election were considering forming a mega opposition coalition. So they say that all watch more like a setup. Emperor then says, Precious, since 2015 till date, since the APC came into power, inflation has been on the highway. Paint of Gary is 2,000. Is it 2,000 now? My chest. Is it 2,000 now? It's a paint of beans is 4,000 naira. Bread is 1,700 naira. We saw all these coming, but Wike, Yakubu, MC Oluomo, and other people forced us to do. Is it? Okay. Ina said the president spent over 3 billion naira on travel alone for 6 months. Gosh, people. And people are suffering. The way you said it, he said it all long. God go help us. Let me go and take calls. Hello, good evening to you.
Hi, Precious. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Is this John from Berlin?
Yes.
You see, I still remember your voice. John, where have you been?
I've just been listening. Hi, Mr. Darlington.
You're welcome.
I've just been listening. I've just been listening and, just following up.
You're welcome, John. Go ahead.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have something to say, if you permit me.
Quickly, please.
I'll be speaking on insecurity.
All right, go ahead.
Insecurity. The killings of the insecurity so far. I'm in a way not so surprised with what is going on in Nigeria, because if you look at it statistically, the insecurity started from the north, right? The Zamfara, the north, and the Borno south. And I noticed, according to the data, that the thing was now coming in from Niger, Zamfara, Nasarawa to Kogi. And now I think it will come, I think Abuja is in the center of it. So my point is, in Nigeria, I think criminality pays. That is what I believe.
God forbid.
No, I'm heading to a point. Because the reason why is Shabina yesterday they watch social media about the former minister was saying he has raised money for somebody they killed, blah blah blah. Criminal over 50 million in less than 7 days.
For doing nothing.
In less than 7 days. For kidnapping for 50 million in less than 7 days. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you, that in my own opinion, I think criminality pays in Nigeria. Because if you say that the governors and the rest of the the secret DSS and everything, they know about all the sleeping cells and where they are, and they cannot do anything about it. But, which brings me to a question to Mr. Darlington. Mr. Darlington, you said that the president wants to please some people. Are you trying to say that the president did not win the election for him not to act because he's going to step on people's toes because he believes he didn't win fair? That is my question. That is my question, because he's allowing the criminality to be doing what they are doing so that he will remain in power. Is that what you are trying to make me to understand?
Can't you see it? Look, let me give you an example. When Tinubu wanted to go to Niger, he was already ready to invade Niger and then remove that coup piece there. The Northerners came after him. They were the one that opposed him. Is that not true, Precious? They told him that those are their brothers, that they are one, they are the same 10 and 10 pence. That you should not try that, Is that not why Tinubu backed down? A whole ECOWAS chairman, when all the ECOWAS leaders have already backed him to go to Niger, Northern leaders told him not to try it, and he did not. Precious, Tinubu did not. A decision that was taken by ECOWAS. Because of Northern leader, Tinubu backed down. So what other evidence are you looking for?
But remember, it wasn't just Northern leaders. A lot of people that
leave that thing.
Exactly.
The ones who were at the forefront. They were the one.
Also, I have another question again, if you permit me.
Yes.
The ever since I know there's criminality is going on even in President Buhari, but I noticed that there is an increase in inflation, like the 28.9% of increase now in Nigeria. However, there is an increase in in inflation since this government took over. Are we now saying now that is it because of the inflation that people are going into criminalities, or because of the government do not want to do the needful? Because I'm a bit confused here. Why I'm a bit confused is how would some people see that this is a crime? This is criminal. Like for example, what happened in Kano, that they recruited 222 people as a police officer, and they committed a crime. What cognitive factor were they analyzed for them to put them back into the society? So I'm not confused and Precious. If you put yourself in my shoe, I'm thinking about the scenarios that is going on. Are they telling me, my own government, are they telling me that to do a crime is a good thing? That is my question. Because you keep on forgiving people for committing murder, crime, and terrorists. What stops other people from not going if there's no law to stop them? So I'm a bit confused. Can you help me? Can you help please? That's my curiosity, please.
Do you have answer to that question?
I have an answer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I never knew you were government. All right, go ahead.
Yes,
thank you, John. I appreciate you.
A very big answer. What happened is that look, there are people in government. They are a government of their own. That is a government inside a government. No matter what they do, you, the government, who was supposed to be elected by the people, you cannot talk to them, you cannot talk to them. In fact, they dictate to you what they want. And if you don't do it, they make trouble for you because they have seen that you are weak. That is what happens when you have a weak government. Precious. When you have a weak government, this is what happens.
So are you saying because terrorism did not start with the APC administration? Let's get it right. I mean, Jonathan. So in fact, it was on that basics that they voted out Jonathan. So are we saying that successive Nigerian governments have failed in fighting? But it did not. But you will agree, it was there. Whether it was at this level or not, it was there.
Listen,
true or false?
Listen very well.
Was it there or not?
Listen now. Listen.
Sir? Okay.
Jonathan knew what was going on, and he took steps to even stop. In fact, if Jonathan had remained in office for the second term, these people wouldn't have existed. That was one of the reasons why they removed him. Are you not getting it? When he brought in Ijeoma Egwuatu gave them hair. It was Ijeoma Egwuatu that chased them into Sambisa Forest, and there was an order to incinerate that place so that no ant will come out of that place. What did the northern leaders do? They started writing memo telling us that Jonathan want to do ethnic cleansing. He had to retaliate what they did to the Igbos. Is that not what happened? Because of this loud outcry, this propaganda, what did Jonathan do? He brought the man out and retired him. Immediately, these people came back in full force. We were out of this time when this has happened now. All the peace move Jonathan made, northern leader thwarted it. So what are you now saying? Please tell me. It is a neutral person that will stop this thing, not the people who created it. I am telling you, if you are looking for your property that was lost, don't send the man who took it to go and help you look for it. You will never see it, because whenever the side party want to get close to where this is, you say no, it is this side. No, come this side. He will divert your attention. That is what northern leaders are doing. They don't want this thing to be resolved.
That's a direct accusation.
It is a direct statement. Let them come and challenge me. Bring one of them here. Let us debate it with the facts, with facts proven by their leaders, what they have said with their mouth.
All right, Barrister Darlington, while we're talking, Faulkner just walked into the studio. Faulkner, would you like to chime in any of this conversation? But before you do that, let me quickly read up some messages, because WhatsApp people may just come from my head. Right now, I'm not their friend anymore. They are vexing for me. So this message here says, we know exactly what to do to salvage this country. We are just simply living in denial and fear. When we are ready for the change we all desire, we will take the necessary action. And he says, Precious, please, how does it sound to the ears of reason that a country that produces crude oil cannot refine their own oil? That is you they plant yam, but you know if you cook your own yam. How the thing dey for body? How they do you? You be yam farmer, but you know sabi cook yam, or you know even fit pound yam. He says, how does this sound to the ears that the amount of money used in servicing our old refineries is sufficient to build a new one? Hell. And then he now says, power will never leave the APC government anytime soon. They may not have the political will to deliver good governance, but they have the passion and skill to hold on to power for as long as they want to. Muyiwa from Mainland. Muyiwa.
Better.
Muyiwa.
Better.
And then, this year says
people get tired.
And then this year says, Barrister Darlington, thank you for the highlights. And my own take is about the Port Harcourt refinery, which pressures some of your colleagues who have visited her place last year, December, have confirmed that it is not true, that it is purely lies. The government and their officials have been telling the media, and it lies. And he said, what? And it's like, this is the facts. So when these people feel they can continue to deceive people, well, you said a lot. Unfortunately, we can't verify this right now, this moment. And then this says, Precious, with all due respect, please try to learn. You really don't know something. You really don't know something. And somebody is putting you through, but you are not ready to learn. Precious, this is serious national issue. Please, all Mr. let Mr. Barrister Darlington enlighten you. And he says, Precious, you are asking that man why? He said, don't worry, I believe you two have family and relatives. It will soon come. It will not come in Jesus' name. It's a matter of time. Keep on support. I am not supporting any week. I am not supporting anything. I am not supporting anything, and it will never come in Jesus' name. I package it, bundle it, press that chicken together, and throw away. It will never near me. It will never come near me. Go ahead, fuck no. Go ahead. No, but dude, what part of my job am I not doing? No, it will never come near me. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Lagos. Good evening, Lagos. And we're back again. So, it's all the same process that people have been talking about at all times, that we realize that this nation has been, we can easily call ourselves failed state. We are no longer like a structured state. We are already a failed state. And the states whereby we cannot even protect our own people.
I'm telling you.
So it's getting difficult every single day. So where did we get it wrong? And what is wrong exactly with this nation? I know the government are listening right now. And where do we need to go? We need to start getting people accountable for such things. We can now be running a country whereby we have all these bandits, terrorists, holding states at ransom level. Why do we pay all these ransom fees? In Western countries, they don't pay ransom fees. The reason why these payments are not paid is because that they don't want it to repeat itself. The more people are still paying, we still have a more problem. I know there are so many solutions that can be held into this stuff right now, and we have to find an alternative way that we can keep things going and hold people accountable for things that they are doing out there. And let's protect this nation and have a better place to live.
Thank you so much for furthering messages. This says, I am Mboto Basi from Agbado in Ogun State. Please, this evening, permit me to disagree with Barrister Darlington. Unless there's a formidable coalition, Mr. P2B can't win any election. That's what he said. And this is Precious. You go explain tire. The baggages of this government is too much. Donald from Okafa. Donald, why me? And then Sahid Barawa says, it's so sad and disheartening or heartbreaking reading how degenerate and low our security has gone in this country. It is a big shame on our leaders going to bed while the citizens cannot sleep with their two eyes closed. One thing is very sure, they would reap what they sow for generations to generation. Ew.
Precious.
Sir, I'm coming. Let me read one more message. Sorry, sir. And then Remy from Akoka says, until I hear from P2B, I am not taking the coalition thing serious. Praising the president when the judiciary gives judgment is an aberration.
Yes.
You are looking for foreign investors, but your citizens are on the social media crowdfunding to rescue victims of kidnapping. We started by crowdfunding education, medical bills, rents, etc. Now we are not crowdfunding ransom in 2024. At this point, the president should just create a ministry for ransom settlement and negotiations and direct all the money meant for security fee there, since they can't protect the lives of properties of citizens. Let them assist us in settling the kidnappers by themselves, so that we're going to say that they work one thing, they do something for us. 8 years of Buhari was business as usual for the kidnapping industry, and now under Tinubu, it be like say also don't pay again. It's taking it to another level. What are we really doing?
Sir? You know our people, that is why we are trying to do what we are doing. Let us reorientate them. There should be a new mindset. Don't believe that somebody cannot win an election. We'll be talking about free and fair election. When you compete with me in a free manner, in a free and fair manner, that is when you now know my strength.
But can election be ever free and fair in Nigeria?
But let us not go there. P2B won Lagos State to the charging of Tinubu. He never thought that such a thing could happen. P2B, not even Atiku, P2B won Lagos State, won Abuja. Did anybody believe that such a thing could happen? But it happened. So why is somebody telling me that P2B cannot win this? It's because of the mindset you have.
Okay, so Barrister Darlington, let me run through messages very quickly.
Nigeria, then you now know who is who.
Barrister Darlington, we'll have step down conversation. Let me run through this quickly, so we'll go to our step down. This says, Precious, I suppose you should be crying while making submission on matters taking Nigeria to their early grave. Hold on. You know how many cry they crying? And because I need to cry here, my tears don't dry finish. It's not a joke, honestly speaking. Now, one thing a lot of people do not understand is that apart from the stories that I decided or that we picked out to discuss today, we have several other stories in the news. But the fact that I highlight on these stories to even talk about alone shows you my commitment to ensuring that we get this country better. So for those of you who keep thinking that I am supporting government, I'm not supporting government, if I didn't give you the opportunity to talk about it, if I don't highlight it, you will not know that it exists. At least in this conversation, you will not know it does exist. So for me to highlight it for us to discuss in this conversation, that is because me too, I want to change. Who doesn't want to change for their country? Who doesn't want to change for their children? Do you think that this is the country I want to bequeath to my children? Where these things are happening? I don't want that for my kids. So every time you think that someone is not doing, the right thing, also consider that the person had another choice, but made a different choice. Barrister Darlington, want to say something?
Even at that, Precious, you're a presenter. You are not supposed to be emotional on set.
Correct.
You are not. Let them know that. If you have become emotional, then you don't know your job. You have to do
all right. So this says, Precious, from the broad streets of Port Harcourt to the creeks in Cameroon, I have heard your cries. I promise, say, on I go cry. Tire. Why you like this? Why you like this? What? Miss President, you see your people who just they talk one thing, they talk another one. And Eddie Edison says, Precious, if all the SIM cards have actually been registered, why is it so difficult that the bandits who are using their phones for their illicit acts cannot be tracked or traced during ransom payment? Pantami said that the security agencies have refused to use it. Again, if the ransom payment is done through transfer, who owns the account? Eddie Edison. If Nigeria can't fight the bandits, let's leave our pride, but invite US Army to help us fight them. Then where is our sovereignty? And then this says, Williams from Ayobo says, Precious, it's like Barrister Darlington and other callers should allow you to analyze for us. What? Loriro, fake one. It's a Precious, please pardon my digression. I just want to ask Barrister Darlington, why are the Igbo civilians not legally entitled to reparation for the massacre they suffered before and during the civil war in 1967 to 1970? Also, Awolowo, as a finance minister, confiscated all Igbo savings in the bank and credited them with maximum of £20, despite the amount that they may have in the despite the amount, most of the depositors not be compensated. Must this depositor not be compensated? I am just curious why Igbos have yet to file a class action against the Nigerian government. Those crimes against humanity are not subject to a statute of limitation. Is on variable record that Gowon and the Nigerian army was the aggressor. Ostino from Olodia Papa sent in that message.
You are very correct, because I remember the Mau people.
Mau, yeah.
The British government had to pay them after they discovered that a lot of injustice was done to them. The German government realized that the Holocaust was a crime against humanity, against the Jews, and they paid them about $12 million way back. I think $12 billion. Way back, I think in the 80s, they paid that money. They paid the Mau. You see, where we are is the position you occupy now. Where we are now, with what is going on in Southeast, in Nnamdi Kanu and all that. If you start that one now, they will say you have started another Biafra. That is the problem the Igbo man have. Whenever they want to talk of their rights, their history will be, will be blocking their way. That is just the problem.
All right.
God want to said in the 3R.
But we don't have time again.
The rehabilitation, the reintegration and reconstruction. Was any of them implemented in the Southeast? The answer is no. So you can see. So it is the position we are occupying that is causing all this problem. When we want to say what is right, but unfortunately, it is this same Boma that have been leading. We have been showing the way since independent, but don't want to. Nobody want to follow.
Right.
What we are suffering now is not what Ojukwu said in 1967.
Okay.
That nobody listened. Aburi Accord. Go and read it.
All right. So Lagos, you know what? Let's just take a breather here, and when we come back, we'll go straight to our step down conversation. So a priest was seen dancing to his traditional music and then masquerade there whilst he was, celebrating, and people are now like, "Hey, you don't get unequally yoked." Is there anything wrong with a man of God dancing to his tradition? Before the man, the man of God, is there no a man before the God? Should he not associate with his tradition, or should he disappear, or cut himself off his tradition because he's now a man of God? Because that's a step down conversation after this break.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So, over the weekend, a man of God, a lot of people were shocked that traditionalists gathered to celebrate a reverend father on his 25th priestly anniversary. Just take a listen to, sounds from that celebration, because people are now saying, man of God, why are you being unequally yoked? Whilst a lot of people are, of the opinion that is anything wrong with that, of him associating with his roots, rather. Take a listen. I want to take you back home. The man of God is dancing, and there's a masquerade there. All right, so Barrister Darlington, is there anything wrong with? In fact, let me start with you, Faulkner. Mr. Darlington is already celebrating the event, so I don't even want to go there. Faulkner, is there anything, in your opinion, do you think anything is wrong, with a man of God associating with his tradition?
I think we can look at this aspect in a two dimension. So the first part of it is that we have a man of God that you gave your life to God, and you've chosen God as your Lord and Savior. Now,
the God the white man brought to him.
So according to what the God the white man brought to him. Okay.
I just wanted to,
So we all understood the Christian part of it. So now, the moment you're already in that zone of the God that we know as one, now the Bible talks about let's give what belongs to Caesar. So these are two different entities. You need to split it in different angles, like stay one side, I'll stay one side. But I think it's kind of wrong in one aspect for you to see a man of God. It's not just that you are dancing alone. It's just that you're basically in there dancing to their own tune. So basically, you're not even worshiping your own God anymore. Let's go back to King David. King David was dancing to God. He was playing instrument to God. And now, why is a Reverend Father? I think my own aspect might be different now, because the way people look at Christianity now is different. So many things going on out there. Should we even believe that this man is actually a real man of God? That should be the next question.
He's a Reverend Father.
To me, what I'm saying, I don't think that I believe that he's a real father.
Are you kidding me?
I'm absolutely correct.
Barrister Darlington.
Even Jesus Christ said that he has come to fulfill the law, not to abrogate it. Are you get what I'm saying? He didn't come to remember all the parables he said about the tradition of the elders. You cannot eat without watching your hand. You will not go to work on a Sabbath day. Jesus Christ violated all those things. Are you get what I'm saying? What will happen is that the Englishman did a lot of damage to our culture. That is why we are where we are today. Why can't they copy our own? Remember in those days, the precious, to tell you the damage they did to us. They told you that your culture is this, is primitive. Is it their own now that is okay? In those days, When even an Oba anywhere, when he misbehave, you don't need anybody to tell you. The Oyomesi will do and give him the calabash, and that's it. In those days, people swear with the gods and with the act immediately. You dare not steal. They have a way of finding you out in the villages. I am telling you, imagine what will happen if all these ministers start swearing with Songo.
Obatala.
What Amadua? Invoke them. Precious. All this money, nobody.
So you think that? The religion? Do you think? Are you saying that the religion that the white man has brought to us has
messed us up?
It has been compromised.
Is it your culture? White religion? Is it your culture? They even watered it down. They removed all the things I gave you. They said I gave you this. Did they believe in God? Did they worship God? Precious. The white man that gave you this in Britain today. I don't know Anglican where they are now talking about gay, whatever, man and man. So is that your culture? They even want to introduce it to you. So buying all these things from Western world, hook, line, and sinker is bad. Let us bring some of these things that will help clean up this society, so that we can make progress. China is making progress because they introduce some of these things. Their culture is still intact. India too. The Indian man that is Prime Minister of Britain, is he not practicing his culture there?
Correct.
The day he was declared Prime Minister, he did his Hinduism and whatever. Did anybody stop him?
No.
But here, we want to be white man where we cannot be. Like Michael Jackson, who wanted to be a white man by printing his nose, adding some of this. At the end of the day, those things started falling off and he died.
All right.
So let us do things our own way.
So you're saying that there's nothing wrong with the Reverend Father?
Nothing wrong. That was the culture. That is how we started. That was our origin.
That is the way we were before they came.
Yes.
The way we were before they came.
But I think I would.
But then the Bible says don't be unequally yoked. He's been unequally yoked.
This is tradition you are talking about. There are good things about it. Yeah. Very, very good. I'm telling you.
What is good about the masquerade that he was dancing with?
Masquerade. Who told you that is the original dance? Not this one that Michael Jackson brought you. That's the original dance.
But Mr. Darlington, I think the angles that I would disagree with you is that it can rather just take up the reverend stuff and say, okay, you know what, I'm no more a reverend. It can go out there and dance. It's okay. But you cannot still be holding onto your reverend position and you're still found in the midst of the tradition. You have to pick one. It's either you serve God or you don't serve God. No. It's either you're an herbalist or you are a true man of God.
Hold on. They came to celebrate him. Did he join them in what they are doing? They came to celebrate him.
They came to celebrate him. His 25th priesthood.
They came to, and they were playing music for him. What is wrong in dancing that music? You cannot exonerate himself from his rules.
Okay, so
there's the principles of the laws of the Bible, and also
principles of the law.
There are laws of the Bible.
So I want to even ask you, the British, right? The British family, they're supposed to be Christians, right? They are part of those who brought this religion to us. But did they leave their tradition in terms of how they practice?
I wonder.
The Western.
Did they leave? I'm not asking. I ask question.
No.
Did they leave their tradition?
They cannot.
Or they practice their tradition?
Yes.
So why do we have to stop our tradition because of them?
Because we chose to.
But you just said so. But you mentioned that it wasn't good that the man of God is.
To me, what I believe is like so. The way everybody believes Christianity is different. But what I just believe is that if you are a man of God and you're serving God, hold on to something.
Focus on
serving God. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be certain places, but you cannot be found. It's just like you're saying that you have a judge and you have a judge chilling with some people drinking. We can never find the spirit.
Did you not watch
which country?
Barrister Darlington. Supreme Court.
Which one?
I didn't say Supreme Court.
What?
I wanted to say something about judge and eating and partying.
So somebody did it in a River State.
I wanted to say something, but I just keep. I wanted it to come out from your mouth. Not my mouth.
You want me to say that?
I want it to be the one to say it.
You are done well.
It's not my mouth.
You are done well.
You know, I'm the journalist.
Even if you said that with the proper arrangement, devil can see God. Was it not God that said devil to go and tempt you?
And the person spoke. And the person spoke in here.
What are you saying?
Okay. What are you saying? Judge. No, don't say that. You can even start by saying justice and not judge.
God look at the heart, not your outward performance.
So you see. In fact, let me tell you that people are coming for you. What's your name again? Faulkner. Faulkner, let me read your messages for you because the people on YouTube, your brothers in Obodo Ibo are coming for you. Kenezike says, it's the Reverend Father that was playing Oja, I love it. Ina says, Fisa your magic kudumi says, please forget every man is a man of God. Yes. As you think you are educated, I don't expect this guy confusing the society. Thank you, Mr. Darlington, for correcting him. Mr. Darlington. And then Father Sake 4 days Sako says the guy with American accent is just what? Let me read that they said. He said the guy with American accent is uninformed. They say you're uninformed. Say now boga for your mouth. And Kenneth says Christianity was in Africa before Europeans came with their version.
Exactly.
And then Fisayo then says, I beg this guy, go and sit down. You are not see, you're not qualified enough to be giving analysis of VOP, I beg. He says, so dancing is a sin now, I beg. He say, not gonna not make me vex. And Kenneth says, then promotes him from caller to studio guest. Now why? Why are you like this now? Why are you like this, Faulkner? Faulkner, you just hold our hand.
We have intelligent.
You just hold our hand. And then this year, Yusuf from Ijegu says, good evening, Darlington and Madam Precious. This is why I so much love Catholic Church. They respect the rights, traditions, cultures. Exactly. You can ask about the late Reverend Father Raymond Arazu, CSSP. He was a Catholic priest, a herbal doctor, and a traditionalist. Exactly. Nothing is wrong with that. We are traditional people. You see, we have traditional people in churches, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's what you're saying. Oh, wow. And then this says, the man of God has done nothing wrong. Is Catholicism not built on Roman pagan worship?
Exactly.
It's all Kolo mentality away. And then this says, good evening, Precious. My problem is the fact that Nigerians tend to overlook the governors and focus on, let's leave matter for government to Jari. Let's leave government matter one corner. And let's all come and kill ourselves and die. And this is good evening, Precious. Okay, all right. I think I got this. And then this here says, I think I missed this message. Let me read this quickly. Precious, Igbo man is, okay. He said, there is nothing wrong with the man of God associating with his culture. In theology, there is nothing wrong with the priest dancing to his cultural roots. That's what this person said. Well, let's go quickly to our phone line. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Precious.
Sir?
Good
evening, sir. You're welcome.
I love the way you always say, sir.
I get home training, sir. Even though I don't agree, some of them I don't agree.
I think we are missing something.
Okay, sir.
Tradition and culture is not religion. It's not religion. It's not.
Even though we have African traditional religion separately.
Culture or circumcising is culture. And they are doing, they are practicing it.
And it has nothing to do with religion.
Yes, it's when you go to voodoo, if you worship voodoo. Some people are doing masquerade and Christian too. It's not like that. To me, I don't think it's under religion. I don't think so. And the man of God want us to believe that we are one. That's just like the Muslim coming to celebrate with him. You can still fellowship with them. Is it a crime? Is it a crime? No. Haven't you seen interdomesticated churches? They pray in the same place. Have you seen that before? It's not a crime. Even if and God and Jesus himself came to this world not for the righteous but for the sinners. So let's go. It's not being with them does not mean that you're worshiping them. You know, they say rejoice with whoever is rejoicing.
All right. Thank
so
you.
When somebody rejoicing, celebrating his birthday, you cannot be there, fold your hands, say, no, I'm not going to be there. No, we are one. We're all created by Almighty God. Even the tradition, everybody believes there's a God upstairs. So we have the same God. Every religion believes there's a God.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much.
From one person.
Thank you.
So please, I think we are missing the track.
Faulkner, did you hear? Thank you.
I heard him loud and clear.
Thank you. So thank you. Thank you. And Wise Warrior here says there is a difference between tradition and religion. We tend to mix it up. If the priest starts praising the gods of the masquerade, then it's wrong. But he was only associating with the tradition. and there's nothing wrong with that. But let me quickly read through some messages. It says, it's unbelievable. A reverend father has nothing to do with traditionalists, though. It is either you are cold or you're hot. See, that's your take. That's your take. And then this says, this is okay. All right. Okay, that's interesting. This here says, please, you can call on WhatsApp. Yes, you can. And then this says, Precious, please play us the song again. That man of God deserves one bottle of Pami. The man of God has just given what belongs to Caesar. Casey from heaven. Is that what they told you in heaven, Casey? And then this says, my name is Felix Oshika from Igbo Eleri Okukomaiko. He said, Ojo Precious, please, okay. He said, please, I didn't see it as a crime. People are just condemning what they watched. Doesn't, like, it's really not that deep. That's what you're saying. And then he says, the fact that the man decided to identify with the Christian doctrine, he should not mess himself up with what does not support the Christian belief. You see different opinions. Evening, Precious. Culture is the root of good morality. Yes. Oyibo has taken away our culture. That is why we are where we are today. Ikondo Adrian from Isolo.
I'm telling you.
And Odom says, Precious, Christ came for the sinner. The priest knows his onion in Christianity. Tell your nose speaking pranks to learn from the best. Sorry.
But
they say they speak from nose.
No, but one thing, Precious.
Go ahead, Faulkner.
If Mr. Dante, you can testify to this also. When we go backwards, even back years then, remember there was kings and there were priests in the villages.
Yes.
That sometimes the king invites the priest, they can come around. But now the notion of things that we see now, when we compare places like Jerusalem, it's done differently. So what you see as a norm in Nigeria, in Africa, when you go to all these places, you cannot find them. That's why I chose that
line of direction. Yes. All right, so this says, Precious, I'll forgive that guy in the studio. He's still an apprentice. My own promise, Ke. He says, like, promise is to you. Promise, come and see what they're telling you. The promise that is producing this show is an apprentice. He wanted to back out and stop producing us. He said, I hope he learns faster as promise is learning, though. All right, let me quickly jump on this call. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, please, welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Ijeoma from Surulere.
Ijeoma, very quickly, fast, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Now, I'll start this way. Christianity is not a religion. We have to get that. It is a way of life. Now, if you read the scriptures, the way Christ said, I am the way, the only way, it means that there's no other way to get to the Father except through him. That means there's only one way. That means any other thing that is ascribed unto religion is not, Christianity is not religion. Religion is a man-made process that they decide to think out to reach God. But that's by the way. Now, the same scripture made us understand that you can never be hot or cold. And the same scripture says, once you're not of God, you're of the devil. So if anything that does not glorify God automatically goes the other way.
So how do you know this particular dancing now does not glorify God?
Yes.
How do you? I want to ask you.
I'm coming. That's why the same scripture says, test all spirits. And Romans 12 said that you grow as a Christian by renewal of the mind. So it is the word based in you and the revelations you have that will now enable you to know. That is when you, even as a Christian, you should be able to decipher between a fake prophet,
let's not let you draw so that others can quickly jump on. Thank you.
Sorry, and we have all churches. We have many kinds of churches today, but all of them are not living churches.
Thank you.
You have to get that one.
Go ahead, please. Thank you to you. I appreciate you, the caller, please.
They are not even Christians. So how do you know a Christian?
All right. So wait. This message here says, what does a temple of God had to do with a demon? So the masquerade is a demon. If truly, Mr. Olao, okay, your call will not let me take this message, but let me quickly pick your call. Hello, good evening to you, Mr. Olao.
Yeah, Precious, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You're welcome. I'm fine, thank you. You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
And I greet my darling T and Faulkner. To my own thinking, I think religion has nothing to do with tradition. Because Jesus, as I'm concerned, Jesus has no religion. That's my thinking. When Jesus came, he didn't say, I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim.
Yes.
When people are selling things in the house of God, he got here and said, don't turn my father's house to a market.
Into a den of thieves.
He didn't say Yes, he did say.
In other words, Christian. In other words, religion as we know it, whether Islam or Christian or whichever religion, is man-made. Human beings created it.
Right. Yes, it's in the mind.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Right, and these people came to Africa to give us the religion and took what we have.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what you're saying, in other words, is that there's nothing wrong with what the man of God has done.
Nothing wrong. Okay, let me give you a sample. I'm a pastor. I'm just saying, if I'm a pastor, my mom's from Edo State. Whenever they are celebrating their traditional something, I don't say I'm a pastor. I join them and do whatever they are doing. After the celebration, I go back to my base. Exactly. That's what I can say.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Precious.
All right. So finishing that message now, very quickly. It says, "What does a man of God have to do with the demon? If truly he's a man of God, something was wrong associating himself with the masquerades. Where is the gospel of that he's preaching?" He says, "Some were called by God, while some called themselves. By their fruit we shall know them." Eddie Edison. That is, you have judged this man finished like this and ended the judgment. Obiabo says, "Good evening to you, Reverend Father. Dancing to the traditional rhythm is not correct because he chose his priestlyhood." Okay,
is that not true?
A man of God, a Reverend Father, is actually the governor of Benue State.
So what is that?
Yes, a Reverend Father.
So Precious. So I think there's something.
So would you have been against the Reverend Father contesting election?
No, something is missing.
What is missing?
The missing part is that he actually went there.
He
actually went there all because he was a governor and also was also a reverend. So basically, they need him around there. That's why probably he would have just attend the event as a governor.
No, they said they want to celebrate him.
They came. He was celebrating his priesthood, his 25th priestlyhood. So
the traditionalists whom is preaching the word of God.
And Prince from Ilasa said they love your accent, Faulkner.
Thank you.
And then Peter from Oshodi says, "Good evening, Precious. Nothing wrong with music. I wish I can give the pastor palm wine self to add to it and bushmeat and some bushmeat to top it up. Please, I want to call you. It's connecting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. AD Johnson, thank you so much. I'm sorry. That's about the size of our package. Faulkner, your last thoughts. Very intense seconds.
I think everyone has done well, and I think it's all about us sharing thoughts and ideas, and I hope everything works well for everybody out there.
Thank you. Barrister Darlington.
Please.
Sir.
Please. We need this is 2024. Let us start a new Nigeria from January.
It is January already.
Yes, it's January. We are in January. So it's the beginning of the year. Wherever you are, from your office, your home, your family, your yard, where you call yard, your premises, your workplace, put a new Nigeria in your heart. Don't just say you like what we are saying. Put it in practice. That's the only way Nigeria can move forward.
All right. Thank you, Lagos. That's the size of our package. Thank you to everyone who's made this show possible. Oh, hey, by the way, I didn't tell you. Join me tomorrow morning on VOP TV. I'll be live on their breakfast show. So I join them every Tuesday and Friday, God willing. So we'll be live tomorrow, VOP TV, where our sister television station, where we'll be dissecting some very topical conversations. And I promise it's going to be palatable to listen to. So I look forward to you joining me 7 a.m. tomorrow Nigerian time, that is West African time tomorrow 7 a.m. VOP TV on YouTube. You can catch us on YouTube at VOP TV. That's where we are on YouTube. My name is Precious, and thanks to everyone who's been part of the show. Thank you to our producer Promise. I appreciate you. I love you, Lagos. Please stay safe, protect your mental health. Good night.